everybody, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Scott. Welcome to the Almost Friday Show for June 17th, 2010.
This week we're talking about E3. We're going to have a special extended off-the-press edition where we're going to talk about all kinds of cool stuff that went down and got shown at E3.
Hardware, software, games, we're kind of
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Then we're going to see Dave. Dave's talking about a comic called Box 13 this week.
In Tech Insight, we're going to talk about the NDP finally maybe understanding digital right laws.
And putting forward something that's not silly and a waste of our money.
Yeah.
And then there's no Behind the Lens this week, but we are going to Sean's Mad Science, where he's finally found things to put together to make the railgun he's been vying after for so long.
Which isn't a good thing at all.
Well,
we're afraid for our lives.
I'm good. I'm afraid for his life.
Yeah, there you go. In Law of the Week, we're doing a legacy law. We're talking about a girl who has an envisioning of what Star Wars is, even though she's never seen it.
You've probably seen it, but we're bringing it back because it's just that funny.
It really is. But without further ado, it's off to our special E3 edition of Off the Press. And now, some E3 coverage. We're kicking it off with Rock Band 3. We got some more information about their new instruments.
Their new peripheral type things. So last week we talked a little bit about Rock Band 3 and the Pro Mode and the guitar and the keytar. It's actually a keytar, I'm sorry, but it's a little wee keytar.
But it could be a keytar.
Mini keytar.
It's a wee keytar. It's like a 25 key keytar. So that will go for $80, most likely US.
That just for the peripheral with the game?
Yeah, without the game.
Okay.
So the Pro Mode guitar, the one that's not strings, so with the buttons for each fret, that one's gonna be $150. And the Uber guitar,
which is really just a Fender Squier.
It's a Fender Squier. That one is
with some extra electronics.
With some,
question mark.
With some Rock Band in there.
We don't really know how much that's going to go.
If that's
for,
anything more than $200, you need to revisit what you're buying.
This is true.
Well, I mean,
real Fender Squiers are only like $180.
Yeah.
I know, but if you were to think about, like, if Rock Band can do it in a way that you actually are legitimately learning how to play a song more or less by using their stringed guitar, then realistically it's sort of like the culmination of buying a whole bunch of, like, learning to play guitar books and all that kind of stuff into sort of a device that you play along and potentially actually learn something.
That's $150 for the other guitar and $80 for the keytar, and the supposedly $200 maybe or more for the other guitar is just for the guitar or the peripherals though.
Then you're talking another 60 to 70 for the game.
No,
exactly.
I know. I mean,
then you're going to get sucked into all the sweet tracks that you're going to have to buy.
Especially for
the game,
guitar.
Yeah, the game's going to get bought anyways, because if you like the rest of them, you're going to buy the new one. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think there'll be a market for the Uber guitar.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It'll be purchased. I don't see it being mass market though.
And I honestly think that they probably won't see it that way either. They think there's going to be they probably assume there's going to be a niche market for that guitar.
I even think the Pro guitar might even be something that not everyone's going to buy.
No, I think more people are going to gravitate towards the keytar though.
People are definitely
I would buy the keytar.
I am buying the keytar or asking for it for Christmas.
Almost Friday Show Rock Band party at Sam's house.
Yes.
And I mean, as far as the Pro guitar is concerned, like, I mean, there's definitely people that would still prefer the 5-button simplicity just because it's like, well,
even like
I found it complicated to play with 5 keys. Why would I add a whole bunch of frets?
Well, like,
and stuff?
I'm a guitar player, and I play Rock Band because it's a sweet game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't want a real guitar in my Rock Band, and I know how to play guitar. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure there's definitely a market for it, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly like the kids market though, like kids.
And I think
10 to 13-year-olds who want to learn guitar and want to play rock songs. And they
and
like
are already
video games.
sucked into this environment.
You know, because now the parents go, well, I don't have to spend $25 a week
on music lessons.
On music lessons, you know.
Which parents, please put your kids in music
please
lessons.
Do, yeah.
Please pay the musicians who teach them.
Or at least sign them up for music in high school.
Yeah.
It's important.
Like, this is good, but don't do just
See,
this.
when you take music in high school, that's how you turn out. Anyway.
I don't know how you feel about that.
No.
I don't know how I feel
I'm a fourth-year engineer, if that helps. Probably not.
Moving right on.
To something about moving.
Unfortunately.
PlayStation gave some information about their PlayStation Move. Which I like to talk about Penny Arcade's comic where they brought up the fact that 2 years ago PlayStation said, oh, the Wii's stupid. They basically made controllers that looked like lollipops. And PlayStation's response to that after they said it 2 years ago was to make controllers that were in fact actually lollipops.
Different
Less
flavors.
tasty.
With different flavors.
Depending on who you are.
It's true.
I'm player 2, so you have to be green. but I don't like green. Well, you're a player too.
Was it lime green or like apple green?
I don't know.
It's an apple green.
Oh, that's disappointing.
No one likes that.
So the PlayStation Move is basically what everyone's been expecting.
Yes.
It's
I mean, we all heard about it before.
Yeah,
usually.
it's-
It's just there was a lot more hands-on. Now, I mean, from the hands-on, people have been saying that it's really not surpassing the Wii as far as accuracy, or just as far as gameplay.
but in the
concerned.
visuals, it's the Wii HD.
Now,
It was.
realistically, why would it? The Wii's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean,
at what it does.
Yeah.
PlayStation was going on about because the balls were lit and they're tracking them and everything like that, it would be able to accomplish things that the Wii couldn't accomplish. And I think it's just kind of fallen short thus far. And a lot of people feel that it's a lackluster first attempt because it hasn't really done anything different from the Wii. So it's kind of like, oh, well, did you like the Wii, but you have a PlayStation 3 and you were thinking of buying a Wii? Well, don't. Just buy our thing now.
But then you can't get any of the Nintendo titles.
Yes.
No.
Which is the only reason you ever really buy a Wii.
Yeah.
So.
Also, players can use 2 controllers, which might mean they have glowing balls in both hands. Which is, I really don't know how I feel about standing in front of my TV with controllers that light up and
I don't know how I
air
feel-
conducting, air traffic controllers.
That's exactly what they look like.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know how I feel about buying 2 controllers so just me can play.
Yeah.
Because they're what, $50 a shot or something?
I think
like
something
that?
More
around
or
that
less,
price
yeah.
point.
Which, I mean, okay, that falls in line with a Wiimote more or less. I think
Yeah.
a Wiimote's a little bit less, but but like I don't want to buy 2 for some games. Like that's crazy talk.
Yeah, and they're trying to use 2. Like for instance, they had an archery demo where one was the handle and then the other one was the arrow. So you'd
Cool
pull that.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not $100. Cool idea.
No.
Also, I'm not sure what the follow through would be.
Yeah, because you'd have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you press the button and kind of.
Oh, damn, I
Really?
accidentally let go. And there's going to be a whole bunch of service advisories, and they're going to start giving you free straps because you're going to be throwing it into your television like on the Wii.
And then the
they're gonna-
condom's going to come out
Yeah.
Yeah,
condom.
and it's just going to be this giant lit up dildo-like device. It'll be terrible. Terrible.
with a strap.
Yeah.
Great. What up, Sony?
So.
I admire your attempt, Sony,
yeah.
but I think...
I think you should have done it way better if you were going to do it at all, or you should have just left it
So-
away.
To combat throwing stuff into your TV, Microsoft's Natal is now called the Kinect.
Yes.
With a K.
Where instead of you throwing things into your TV, you just throw yourself at your
You launch
TV.
yourself at your TV.
No peripherals required in your hands at any point in time.
Which is always nice. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to attack my TV.
Now, a lot of people are saying, well, the Kinect is just what the iToy was 6 years ago.
but better.
But better. Now, I mean, that is the thing, is that this one's using 2 different cameras to better track motion and actually has an IR emitting beam out of it, so it will bathe the entire room in IR light to help light you if you're in a dark room, which is impressive because you could never use the iToy in a dark room because it
No.
couldn't
It would get
see anything.
confused.
Whereas this one, you can use it in a dark room where you really just have, because the last thing you want to do when you're playing a nice, pretty game is turn all the lights on in your room so that your game can see you. So the fact that they kind of thought it out with 2 cameras and the IR light and all that, I think it's a good step. And it's backwards compatible. There's a new Xbox, which we'll get to later, but it works with the older Xboxes too. Now, I mean, the thing is, I saw a tech demo where there was a fighting game, and that's really what intrigues me the most, because I think if they can pull off the right kind of speed and the right kind of frame rates and really the right kind of interactivity, I would so be for not playing fighting games with controllers anymore. I'd be all up for having some guy standing in front of the screen and I have to dodge and duck and punch and kick and stuff like that. That'd be awesome.
I think this is where Microsoft has to push that, because if they don't get the new next level kind of games for this platform, and they only end up with stuff like Wii games, like Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort, which is the same thing over and over again.
There's one thing that people kept talking about over and over again. It's like the Wii Fit type games for the
Apparently
Kinect.
there's a yoga game.
There's a really good
Yes.
there's a yoga game that's apparently really good because you can't BS the IR.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like when you were playing the Wii games, there was a Wii Fit pad, and then
Yeah,
you
you can just
had
kinda
the
BS it by
controllers,
doing-
and you could definitely cheat on it, which would defeat the entire purpose of using that game. Because if you're using that game, it's not because you're like, I just really like watching people do yoga
So
on
now, if
screen.
you're playing like a baseball game on the Kinect, you can't just do this. You have to actually.
you have to stand up and you have to throw the
Put some
ball
effort
and
into
hit
it.
the bat and stuff. So, I mean, I think it's got some potential. But on the flip side of things, they've rebuilt the dashboard to work with Kinect so that you can move panes around and things like that. But what's really cool is they've integrated into like Netflix playback and playing back movies and things like that, where you put your hand up and you wave it and it's going to pause the movie and stuff like that. Now, so I heard some people talking on the internet that you had to be standing up to use this, which would make that really stupid because it's like, oh, hang on, I got to get up to, I'm going to pause the movie, now I'm going to sit back down. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I think Microsoft, I mean, I don't know. That's something I've heard, but I don't really want to believe it because I think Microsoft would be stupid to be like, well, you have to be standing up to use those features.
Seems too well put together to have something silly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you can totally be that douchebag at the party. Oh, sorry.
But it can track individual people.
Oh, this is true. So,
but the other thing is it's got a mic built into it as well, so you can do MSN messaging back and forth.
Does it do video messaging?
Yes, it does video messaging with audio.
Cool.
You can do it over Xbox or with MSN, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I know definitely MSN, and I think over Xbox Live as well. Cool. They're probably working with Skype because I think Skype's interested in bringing Skype into it as well.
Well, Windows Live already has their own proprietary video chat architecture.
Their video chat
probably using that.
Built into MSN.
They are. That's what they're using right now. But I think Skype had expressed interest in getting involved.
No doubt, Skype's on everything.
But what's interesting is because it has a microphone, they've actually implemented some voice control capabilities into it as well. So now you can do things like pause movie or stuff like that. I'm not sure the entire list of commands, but it sort of opened up to a door to where this could go in the future. Gizmodo did an article talking about, they sort of made the reference to Star Trek where it was computer do this, computer do that. And it was the idea that if you could build an elaborate system where the Xbox was your media center of sorts and you had Kinect cameras in multiple locations in the house, you could do something where you'd walk into a room and say, play this or whatever.
So it's like
the
Sonos on crack.
Yeah, it's that Jarvis home system kind of idea, because if they can implement it on a single camera, single system basis, if they could push beyond that, it could really open up the Xbox to being an incredible media center and home, entertainment system.
Which a lot of people already think of the Xbox as.
Yeah.
So it's definitely somewhere where they could push their market.
So I'm curious to see where it's going to go. I think it's really interesting tech to begin with. I think they did the right thing as far as how they built the camera. Some people have expressed that there's a bit of lag in the video and the translation into actually the movements that you do. But I'm sure it's stuff they're gonna work on.
Well, I mean,
the problem is that the camera's not doing any of the processing.
No, and the Xbox is backwards compatible, and the original, like the 360s, they haven't changed the processing, but it's not super powerful.
No.
Like it's no PS3 in terms of like raw processing power. Yeah. So the fact that all of this stuff's going on at once at all is actually pretty impressive.
The other thing to add to the Kinect I just remembered too is that the camera is autofocus, so it will track faces, obviously. But it also has I think a powered base, so it will move and turn to follow people.
Oh, that's cool.
For video chatting. I think I'd read that. That's not a completely confirmed thing, but I'm almost fairly certain I had read that it has a motion control base. So it's kind of a neat idea, and I think, like I said, this technology shows a lot of potential. I think they took what was interesting about the iToy and really built on it and made it the way the iToy should have been back then. But I think really we lacked the power to do it properly back then.
Well, yeah, the iToy was an abysmal failure, and I think most of that was the fact that the PS2 was already being pushed to its limits by graphics.
Yeah.
It was
let
cool
alone
concept,
trying to do anything else.
So I believe the starting point's somewhere between $100 to $150. There's been no release pricing.
But there's been leaks from
GameStop leaked some stuff, and there was different tiers of it. There was an arcade and elite and everything, but I believe it started at around $99.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to sell bundles.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, you're going to get a couple
games.
And it's supposed to be something like 15 titles on launch that are going to have this support. So there'll be a good roster of games to start off with. But it's typical stuff. There's some racing games. I'm not sure how I feel about driving like this because Morgan Webb from G4 pointed out a really good point. Doing this for longer than 3 minutes, your arms get tired.
Well, and I like the driving
I don't want to race
controls
the
the way
Nuremberg
they are.
this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I have a steering wheel, sure, but I don't want to. Yeah. No.
Anyway, can't talk about E3 and skip over Nintendo because they also
really stole the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their
Believe it or not.
3D DS.
No, well, yes, the 3D DS, which is the 3DS.
Yes, yeah.
They've dropped one of the Ds.
Thank God.
No double
That's
D in
unfortunate.
this one. So the tech behind this is that it's running, I believe it's a 3.5-inch widescreen.
like
for
that.
the 3D screen.
Something.
And then there's a smaller, I think 3-inch, not widescreen format, but you still have the touch in there. They've gone PSP's way and added a thumbstick.
One thumbstick.
About
thumbstick.
damn time.
It's kind of like after everyone's complained about the PSP only having one thumbstick.
Everyone celebrates when the DS gets one.
Well, I really think Nintendo should have been like, bah, and just put 2 thumbsticks in and be like, suck it, Sony. But then they didn't.
Well, the Go has 2 thumbsticks. PSP Go.
No, it only has 1 thumbstick. The
We'll
Go only
check.
has 1 thumbstick, but the new PSP that didn't get announced right now is supposed to have 2.
PSP's done.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's done.
Which is too bad.
Nintendo, and it was interesting because Nintendo this year actually said they don't care at all about what Sony and Microsoft are doing because they're not trying to compete with them anymore. They know that their console is less than thhan the other consoles.
Which is blatantly clear by the way Nintendo markets themselves
Yeah.
and develops new products. However, it should be noted that the DS, as it is now, is the most sold console ever.
125 million units worldwide.
Now that beats
That's
PS3,
impressive.
that beats Xbox 360, that beats Wii, that beats
But
PS2.
what was interesting is Nintendo came out and said that their biggest competitor right now is the iPhone.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of there's more than 60 million handsets out there with people using iPhones and iPod Touches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's the second biggest portable gaming platform out there right now, and so Nintendo's really focusing on trying to compete from I think a price point and a game level to be able to put out cheaper, smaller titles and things like that to be able to sort of work that app market themselves.
But, the iPhone can't do 3D.
No, it can't do 3D.
Glassesless 3D.
Yes, that was the big thing because no one wanted to wear stupid glasses.
No,
while
and
wearing
they
a new
really
DS.
stressed that in their keynotes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As often as they could say no glasses, they said it.
Yeah.
So the concept behind this is basically it's this perspective controlled screen. So as you look into it, you get a sense of depth. There's a depth slider on it, which
Yeah, you
allows
can
you
either-
to adjust it from non-3D to a really deep 3D, of which they sort of said that most people wouldn't go all the way because it might be a little bit tense on your eyes. So most people step it just back a little bit.
But I would like to say good on them for putting that control
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
Having
because
the
it
option
allows
is
you
nice.
it allows you to adjust it based on how your eyes can cope with
Based
that kind
on,
of
I guess,
technology.
like how far away you're looking
Or
at
how
the
you're
screen.
feeling at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want to sit down and do a little bit of gaming, but you had a really bad lunch or something, then maybe you're not up for a
Maybe you don't want
mind-bending
max
3D
3D.
experience.
Yeah.
Now, it should be said that because it is a perspective-based screen, it will not work from all the angles. You really do have to be looking the right direction, which
Most
it's. I understand why they did it because they needed to go glassesless and it was the only way to accomplish it.
But
it
most
is,
people are playing it like this.
To be honest
anyway.
with you, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No, I don't think it'd be a problem, but it does mean if you have to be lying down in bed and want to fire up the DS and stuff, you might have trouble. You might have to turn off the 3D at those points because if you're playing at a weird angle or something, you could have some trouble actually seeing it because you do have to be looking right at it because the way the screen's designed is it's channeling your left and right eyes into seeing a single perspective. So at any sort of slight off increment,
You're done,
it completely
yeah.
goes away. And you just end up seeing one image and then the other image.
And it might be fairly jarring to be moving like right on the cusp of
Yeah.
seeing it. Might
Yeah.
We've talked about this technology before when we talked about Fuji's 3D camera because it's essentially a better version of that.
Oh, and the 3DS also has 2 little cameras on the front, so you can take 3D
Yes,
pictures.
it's
of
taking 3D pictures, which is really neat
Yeah.
because there's been a 3D video camera that recently came out that's under $300, and and then Fuji's got their $600 3D point-and-shoot camera. But to see a first sort of potentially budget-oriented 3D camera that's also a gaming system is kind of neat. Wi-Fi N, I believe, as well.
Oh,
in
nice.
it.
I don't remember. The cool thing about the Wi-Fi was that's the thing with Nintendo. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about the specs.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone cares about like
the games and what it can do.
the environment, because the DS has this new feature where it communicates over Wi-Fi while it's in standby mode.
Yeah, so what it does, it'll cache like things that you could potentially unlock for your
Yeah.
game, so that if you go out and you're riding the bus or something and you hit something, you're not going to miss out on it because it caches the you could get to this point in the game sort of thing, which is smart.
And it updates leaderboards and stuff. So if you have an out-of-date leaderboard and I walk by Sam and Sam's got an up-to-date leaderboard, our DSs will just talk even if I don't know she's on the bus with me, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like a webbed infrastructure for their online play, which is a different take on it.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense for a portable device, I guess.
Performance-wise, I don't think there was much of a bump to performance with the exception of running the 3D.
Yes, big bump, not very big.
Yeah.
It's still not PSP performance,
Yeah.
like original PSP.
So obviously there's going to be 3D games, but it's also fully backwards compatible with all of the DS games currently.
Which is good, because there was some
suspicion.
Thank you. That there wouldn't be backwards compatibility in the weird rumors and stuff, which I thought was bizarre.
Yeah, Nintendo's usually pretty good with usually pretty good, especially with their...
Well, after the Wii, the first backwards compatible console they ever made.
Oh, no, I'm talking about their handheld consoles.
Well, the DS, the DSi, and the DS Lite are the exact same console.
Exactly, and their
Except the DSi does not play Game Boy games.
their SPs could play Game Boy games.
Kicks.
But they also have to stand directly under the sun to see it.
But
anyway,
regardless.
Yeah.
we're going to move on and talk about a couple games. For the next 3 games we're going to talk about, we're going to show you their teaser trailers that ran at E3 because, well, they're all very pretty.
Yeah.
So first up, we're going to be talking about Gran Turismo 5.
Just save your breath. I love your words, feel like a jail. Blocks the sun and makes me stale. Not enough gold in all the world, so why hell I surrender Is there anywhere to
So that was just a clip of the trailer. We didn't play the whole one for you there because it's a little bit longer than the other 2 we're going to play for you, but it does
But we
give you an
showed
idea.
the part that we're most excited about.
Yes,
Like the nerds
we're
we
Top
are.
Gear fans.
Yeah, we
so
are.
we like the idea that you can play on the Top Gear test track.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that the Stig will be in the game. As to what extent the Stig's going to be in the game, we're not entirely sure at this
No.
point.
But
But he's in there, and that's what's important.
it'll definitely be mysterious, because it's the Stig.
There'll be some
course.
sort of bonus level where you'll meet him, and he'll take off his helmet, and it'll be Michael Schumacher, and yeah.
And then later it'll be like, oh, it's probably not the Stig.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So the release date for this game is supposed to be November of this year. Rumor has it November 2nd.
My birthday.
His birthday. What's really cool is apparently this is all kind of rumor, and because it hasn't much hasn't really been shown. So there's gonna be like nighttime driving modes.
Yeah.
And really good destruction and carnage.
Is the nighttime driving a first for Gran Turismo? I think so.
Yes.
Yes, for
Yeah.
this series. Yeah.
There's been some other rally games that have done it before, but Gran Turismo's always kept
Well,
stuff
there's
in
a
the day.
Yeah.
The thing about Gran Turismo is the game's mentality has always been to 100% accurately portray its cars.
Yeah.
And so
That's
some
fair.
of the game designers behind it have always been against nighttime driving because then you don't get to look at the pretty cars. Because that's Gran Turismo's always had 100 plus cars. You know, the most recent one, Gran Turismo 4, had something like 500 cars in it.
And one thing that
some of
bugged
which you'd never want to drive, but they're just in there because some guy's like, I really want a 1920s
Yeah.
Model T Ford. Just
Yeah.
for
no,
some
1930
reason.
Bugatti.
And you know
Yeah.
what? Since Gran Turismo 1, there's been stupid cars in the game.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they realize that as much as they want everything to be in the daylight, so you get to see the pretty cars and the pretty backgrounds, they gotta progress.
Nighttime, it looks cool and
It looks gorgeous.
Yes, the
Yes.
game is incredibly pretty.
very pretty game. But this is really cool with the destructible stuff.
Yeah.
But that's something that really bothered me the last Gran Turismo. I was like crashing into stuff. I'm like,
That was
why
the-
isn't my bumper flying off?
Yeah, and that had to do. It was a 2-part thing. One, companies
car companies.
have to approve destruction
Yeah.
because they have to make sure that their cars are destroying like they accurately would, especially in games that are sim games, because they
Yeah.
don't want someone who's, you know, let's say they love an Audi A5 and they want to go drive it in this game because maybe they really want to buy it someday or something like that, and then they crash into a wall and stuff breaks off weird. You know, basically
it's
a lot.
licensing
You have to
thing.
get licensing rules to be able to destroy cars because the companies want to make sure that you're not just like, and then it exploded into pieces.
Yeah.
And that destruction's more or less accurate so that cars don't appear to do things they wouldn't. So Gran Turismo's always stayed away from that. One, because it would be really, really expensive to get destructive rights for like 500 cars. But I guess they realized they'd have to come to it eventually. But the other thing too, and that fell into what I was saying about the modeling and stuff, is a lot of the developers are like, I don't want to damage the car. I've worked so hard on this looking pretty. They didn't want them scratched or damaged or wrecked because
Whatever.
they just wanted people to see the cars. And I'm not making that up. That was the mentality of the graphic designers.
Which is a
at
really
Gran
unfortunate
Turismo.
mentality, at
It
which
is.
point the game producers have to go kick those guys in the ass and say, no, we're making a game, we're not
Yeah.
making a pretty picture.
So they finally reached that point now with Gran Turismo 5.
After 4 revs.
Yep.
However, the big thing is that PlayStation did announce 3D to its console, as well as a bunch of 3D games coming up this year. Gran Turismo 5 is going to be one of them, and we unfortunately haven't seen it in 3D because, well, we weren't at E3.
Nope.
But from what we've heard from people, it is literally amazing.
I'm not surprised with a game of this caliber. It's
I think it brings the whole sense of depth of driving through the roads, driving through the hills, that kind of stuff, really to the forefront. So I'm interested. Like I was making a joke that I guess I have to go buy a 3D TV now for Gran Turismo 5. I'm obviously not going to do that as much as I'd like to.
if I win the lottery,
might.
I will. But
See, I've heard other things about how the PS3 performs in 3D and how it's awful.
well, it's the first rev.
Yeah, they can't go wrong first rev with Gran Turismo. If
Yeah,
you put out
oh,
Gran
yeah, that's
Turismo,
true.
one of your biggest franchises of all time as Sony,
Ever.
on your touting, we have 3D, we're the only console with 3D, and it sucks, you're done.
So I guess we'll have to
So-
play that one by ear.
I hope that game's awesome. I could care less about the rest of 3D
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
I'd really love depth in my driving games. That'd be pretty awesome.
I think it's the perfect place to have it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to our second game that we're going to talk about, and that's Portal 2.
It's been a long time. How have you been? I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster.
So that was the teaser trailer that we played for you. It doesn't have a lot of gameplay footage. It just kind of shows the idea that the labs are being rebuilt, and takes place in a time long after the original Portal. We did put in our show notes. G4 did some amazing coverage of E3 this year, and they do have some hands-on stuff. So check out the second link in our show notes to see a little bit more gameplay footage. I played and beat the first Portal. It was a really good game. I enjoyed it.
I played
think.
most of it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was an interesting take on a puzzle game. The idea that you're going to play with physics and stuff like that instead. So the couple things they've added to this game is that now when you create portals, you can create tunnels, which basically will pull things through them. They have a gravitational field, so you can throw a box into it and it's going to slide along this tunnel, or you yourself can jump and slide along this tunnel. They've also built some vacuums that will suck things around and stuff like that. So different elements like that. Big thing that they did was they made a co-op mode. And it's not just run through the same levels with your buddy. It's specifically an entirely different storyline that requires two people to play through.
Which you've been starting to see more and more in games lately. And
Yeah.
I think Portal is somewhere where it actually makes a lot of sense because there's not a lot of other multiplayer that really takes advantage of that, right? I mean, you could have throw stuff at each other multiplayer. But
And Portal's really the right kind of game to do it because it's such a thinking game. When you get into the harder levels where you have to go, okay, well, I got to bring this here and then do that and move that. If you put a second person and something that you can only achieve by getting that second person in, it adds an extra layer of complexity to it. So I think it could have some really good potential.
yeah, for sure.
Also, I mean, the big thing, if you watch that teaser trailer, is the graphics have been upped like crazy. It looks like a gorgeous game.
Which is good because Valve doesn't really do graphics.
No.
With the
If you
exception
played-
of Half-Life.
Yeah, not a very gorgeous game.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, episode 2 was a couple years ago.
Like
but-
Half-Life 1 was Half-Life 1. Half-Life 2 was okay when it came out, but it got blown out of the water like a week later.
Yeah.
And then they were the first experiment with HDR, but they've never came out with something that's like mind-blowingly gorgeous when it came out. It's not a Call of Duty,
No.
for example. But thank you, Valve, for upping this. And we finally get to see it on the console.
Yes. Well, we did have Portal on Xbox 360.
A really sad port.
Yeah, it didn't have as many levels and all that kind of stuff, so unfortunately it was a bit of a letdown. But they are bringing it, and it's not going to be an Xbox exclusive. PlayStation will be getting it. It's going to be part of the Steam network, so I don't know if it's going to work with their Steam Play system where you could pause it on your Xbox and go finish it on your computer. That could be really cool. Obviously, no confirmed details. We're looking at 2011, an unspecified time.
So look to the end of 2011 and hope that it's there.
Yeah.
Although I really don't know why it would take that long, as it looks like it's mostly completed. But
But it's Valve!
It's done when it's done.
Valve's on par with Blizzard in terms of release dates. Yeah, Diablo 2's coming out.
Well, StarCraft has a real release date.
Finally.
Yeah.
For now.
However, a game that most certainly does have a release date, and our third game that we're talking about is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Black Ops, which we'll play a clip for you here. It's amazing. Just watch.
A lie is a lie. Just because they write it down and call it history doesn't make it the truth. We live in a world where seeing is not believing. Where only a few know what really happened.
Ready when you are.
We live in a world where everything you know is wrong.
So, obviously, a gorgeous trailer.
Gorgeous trailer.
I mean, if there's one thing Activision and the Call of Duty franchise does right, it's making amazing-looking games. Making games that when you play, you forget you're playing a game. I mean, I remember firing up Modern Warfare 2. We recently got a new TV, 58-inch plasma with a good surround sound system, and when you play that game on a big system like that, it's mind-blowing. So I'm a huge Modern Warfare fan. I find, hands down, they're the best first-person shooters out there from a realism and a gameplay and a story level. And I'm really excited. There's some great stuff in the trailer, smashing through some windows, lots of helicopter action. Again, G4 did a great hands-on preview, which shows part of the level where you get to fly a helicopter. And, you know, Activision really made it simple to fly a helicopter. It was go forwards and backwards and go left and right. You didn't have to worry about going up and down and stuff like that. So it made flying a helicopter, but still avoiding getting shot by rockets.
So they took out the whole, like, wow, I'm playing Battlefield 1942 and I can fly a plane, but you really can't.
Exactly.
You have to have, like, a flight-controlled joystick and throttle to be able to fly a plane in that.
Yeah. So I believe the premise is around the Cold War. It's sort of a precursor to some of the other Modern Warfare titles.
So we're fighting the Russians again.
I don't. It looks like
Russians
there's
are the cool new
It looks
thing.
like there's a lot going on in Vietnam, actually. Like there's a lot of jungle warfare. There's some stuff in the cold areas as well. So I think it could be a little mix of everything. But it's a release date of November because that's what Activision likes to bring out their Modern Warfare games.
See, the great thing,
that's money out of my pocket when it comes down.
Activision could have changed absolutely nothing about the gameplay and graphics and simply made a new storyline, and I would still buy the game.
But what they did do is basically, in the helicopter scene that they talk about on the G4 clip, they basically said, we need to make these kind of draw distances. We have to build a new engine. So they actually built an entire new texture mapping engine and everything like that because the explosions that they wanted to have and the distances they wanted to see and the people running around on the ground and the trees falling down and everything, the engine couldn't do it. It couldn't do everything. So they, once again went and upped the game, and I think it's probably going to sell incredibly well.
Oh, guaranteed.
Modern Warfare
Yeah.
2 was the highest selling
really
game of all time, and this could do the same sort of thing. I'm not sure what kind of multiplayer options they're looking at. That's always been a popular one for Modern Warfare series, but nothing on this one, but I'm sure they'll have something. So that wraps up Off the Press this week. It's been long, but it's E3 and
it compresses an entire week of E3 announcements and like 30,000 pages of reading for you into a nice 20 to 25 minute clip. We're not really sure.
So we'll be right back with From the Gutters.
Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Sam.
Welcome to the Gutters. This week we're going to be reviewing a book called Box 13. It is the same creative team that did High Moon, a book that we reviewed a while ago.
Oh, cool.
The people involved are David Gallagher and Steve Ellis. Look at a later time. I'm trying to garner an interview with the creative team for this, which, got my fingers crossed, should be fun.
That'll be cool. So,
Yeah,
about this book, something cool. Red
it's actually
5,
right on the book on the cover of it.
Red 5 released this first on the Comixology app for the iPhone. That's how I read most of it until I got rid of my iPhone. So.
Was it a free, or did you have to buy it?
At the time it was free, but I think now or recently they changed it to $1 a chapter or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which makes it $8 to own it all on the iPhone,
Yeah, okay.
as
there's a
opposed
free
to
number.
$13 for this. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure though, as I don't have an iPhone to check it on.
Reading it a little bit at a time, just before we get into the story and the writers and all that. How did it strike you?
I liked it on the iPhone. It really worked. How the pages are all, like how they arranged it to be read on the iPhone. There's nothing jarring about it. It didn't feel like a book written in a book form transposed to iPhone. It just felt everything was really smooth and, it moved along.
Very interesting. So like I said, the writer, David Gallagher, and the artist, Mr. Steve Ellis. Great. In terms of flow for the in terms of the story though, it is
It's
very roughly based.
Yeah,
they reference an old show. Alan Ladd did an old radio show back in '48 and '49, I believe, called Box 13, and it was "We'll do anything, looking for adventure." Right, Box 13, care of Star Chronicle or something like that.
Yeah. It very much felt like an old story like that. That's kind of the vibe I got from this. The art I really liked. It's kind of the
Ellis's work is nice. Like he's got
kind of
a
the
nice
rough,
flow to it.
sketchy style. The story I felt, it was good, but it was good.
It starts off. Dan Holliday is actually a character that was the main character in the radio show back when, and Dan Holliday in this iteration is a novelist.
Yeah, he's a writer.
And we get introduced to him as he is at a book signing, and this mysterious lady Doris leaves a book with him that has her name and phone number in it. The visual on that, oddly enough, I noticed this one particular thing. The visual on that was this curved page, and it was just very flat writing.
Yeah.
Probably meant, again, we're getting back to an iPhone, a smartphone-based presentation. It did hold together. Visually, it did hold together, with a few minor exceptions like that. So, this lady leaves her number and name with him, and he later finds this box with a 1 on it, and he opens it up, and the next thing he knows is at this mental asylum a la 1940s in terms of ethics, but with postmodern, like
Modern
2100, the year 2100 kind of technology. He's introduced to another box with the number 2 on it. He opens it, and he escapes from the asylum. And after that, he just meets back up with Doris. He escapes from the asylum.
Goes on an adventure.
Finding
basically.
all the other boxes. And
Then the big spoiler at the end.
Are we going to spoiler it?
No, it's not spoiler.
Okay.
But the big spoiler at the end was kind of like well then, that's one way of ending this book.
It felt, one thing that I would really like to ask this creative, and I think these two guys are producing comics that they're trying to make movie properties.
Oh, okay.
If not actually developing a new, well, I mean, obviously you want it to actually turn into a movie.
Yeah.
But sort of a la Boom Studios, they're producing these things that turn into, that they're trying to sell as movie properties. The art, I thought the flow of the art was really nice.
Yeah.
But the story, it felt sort of not meat and potatoes, more potatoes.
Exactly.
There wasn't a lot to it. This whole book would have made a very exciting and interesting pilot for a television show.
Yeah.
I thought. All in all, I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, it's a very enjoyable book.
Price point US $13. A little much. I would have said $10 is what this is probably worth getting a hard copy. Something like that.
Yeah.
What do you give it? What do you give this book?
Would I give it maybe a B minus?
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I was going to give it a B minus as well. And that's it this week. We are going to be giving you guys a lightning round soon-ish. Our Almost Friday showdown has been sort of put off indefinitely. Sam's schedule has to free up a little bit. So, until next time, I'm Dave.
I'm Sam.
And this is From the Gutters.
Welcome to Tech Insight. We're starting it off with some viewer mail. A gentleman by the name of Joshua from St. Petersburg, Florida, wrote us asking for us to check out a product and tell him what we think about it for his application. Scott's got more on that.
So,
First, that should be mentioned.
yeah, please email us your questions, responses, things you want us to take a look at. We're more than happy to do it. I got Joshua's email last week. If you want to email us, contact@almostfridayshow.com, or do what he did and go to our website and email any of the hosts about specific problems.
Yeah.
Emailed me because I'm the tech guy, apparently, more or less. So he asked us to take a look at the NVIDIA Tesla C1060 computing processor.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
This is something Sean drools all over all the time. Joshua is a 3D graphics guy. He does some 3D animation stuff. He was basically wanted to know if this was something he should be looking at to speed up rendering. He's got some projects coming up. Yes, but no. So this thing is a tank. Okay, it's a single GPU, technically, with 240 cores. Your desktop has two,
Maybe four. If you're really lucky, 8.
If you're lucky for 8.
And if you're AMD 6.
So what this basically is it's taking advantage of the really quick GPUs that NVIDIA makes for their graphics cards and putting them to use on more useful, for lack of a better word, computations. So no, this will not have a DVI port on it. Yes, it's made by NVIDIA. It's basically a supercomputer on a card. It works in your PCI Express slot to get the most bandwidth. You can work these in series, so you can actually have multiple of them. And basically, it's build your own supercomputer. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do really stupid fast rendering in 3D, in 2D, if you're encoding DVDs, if you're encoding video, if you're encoding audio, it'd probably do it like that. It's stupid powerful. And it has capability to use widely parallel processes. So it can do a bunch of stuff at the same time, which is why it's so fast for rendering. Do you realistically need this as an independent artist working on a few projects? Not worth the money.
We were looking at it, of course, earlier. Me and Scott were having a look at some of the things that people have done with it. Scott you were mentioning that it's good for doing like lab design.
This is going to be more implemented where it's worth the money is for people who actually need to lease out supercomputer time to do calculations and stuff like that. It'll take a little longer on these guys, but you can do it in your lab. So it's really based for big time simulation, big time calculations. Yes, it's great for rendering because of that big capacity. Joshua, sit and wait. I know you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But this is like $1,200+.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really worth the money unless someone else is paying for it for you. If you can get your hands on it, please do. But I don't think it's really worth the bang for the buck when you're just doing a few projects. And if you have to personally buy it. If your business is buying it, that's something different. But if you're personally buying it, I would say take a pass and maybe buy a 4-core for your desktop or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be my response for you there. Next up, we're talking about the Droid X.
Things that are smaller than the Droid X. This vase.
Quinn's car.
My house.
The Droid X is enormous, people. It's a 3-inch, 4.3-inch screen. It's huge.
That's the regular Droid, which is already big.
It's pretty big.
It's larger than that.
It's pretty thick.
It's big. Now, this is Motorola's answer to the HTC Evo.
Yes.
Which, by the way, the Evo, although huge and the size of at least 3 dinner plates, is a gorgeous phone. Screen looks amazing.
It really does.
And you can do a lot more with the bigger size than you think you can, is what I've heard. I haven't get to play with it, but so the new droid, it's just a big droid.
Now, although it is big, it's incredibly thin. Very, very thin. I don't know.
It's been described to be thin and light.
Yes.
By multiple reviewers. It's not quite out yet, but it is coming to Verizon in the States, so maybe we'll hope to see a milestone-ish version, because we don't actually have the droid in Canada, we have the milestone.
Yeah.
Same phone, different chipset for the antennas. So Droid X coming to Verizon in the States. It says here you're looking at 854 by 480 resolution.
So not quite competing with the new iPhone. But close.
Not bad. Pretty good for that size screen.
Yeah.
Better than the Evo 4G.
Yes.
By a little bit. You got 720p video output through an HDMI port, which is you're starting to see popular on these bigger screen multimedia focused phones. Whether or not that's useful or not, who knows?
No. Someone will have a use for it.
Yeah, I suppose. It does have at least one camera. There's not a lot of specs.
Yeah.
Not much has been released.
To be honest, I'm not that excited because we don't get one in Canada just yet. But it is the big brother. Does do 720p video. So
with
that,
HDMI output, which is nice on the new phones because it means that you can actually watch some of your HD content on a bigger TV or something.
Which is what you wanted, which is the only reason you'd ever record HD video.
Yes.
Is to watch on the big screen. So cool. Hopefully we'll see something like this in Canada because we really don't have that big phone yet.
Just hope it fits in my pocket, because.
Yeah. And if you're getting mugged, you can just hit someone on the side of the head with it, knock them out cold.
Yeah. Or you can trade it for a set of China.
Yeah.
Or use it as one.
Just get a
just
covering.
set your sushi out on top of it.
It would be perfect. You could probably fit like an average person's
a full
serving.
Caterpillar roll.
Yeah, you're good to go. So now we're going to take the tone down a little more serious. The NDP in Canada, so I read this morning and read it twice because I didn't
want to believe it or
understand. So normally in Canada, we get these copyright and weird anti-consumer bills.
Lots of them.
Which is, you're like, okay, well, you got a conservative government, but really they're not quite conservative. But let's not get into Canadian politics. The NDP, which is our extreme left-wing party, takes a very small portion of the House, put together a bill that finally makes sense for the consumer. Thank you, Jack Layton. So that bill entails that basically anytime your phone, so you buy a cell phone, it's carrier locked.
Yeah.
You cannot, more or less, a few exceptions, buy a phone from a carrier at full price or subsidy that's not carrier locked.
And if you don't know what carrier lock means, it means that when Sean is on TELUS and his phone breaks, he cannot borrow my phone when I'm on Fido and just put his card in it and use it.
Even better, Quinn and I have a Rogers iPhone, Quinn has a Fido iPhone.
Same network.
Same network, same company. I can't put his SIM card in my phone and have it work.
Or vice versa.
But this bill
is going to basically, if it passes, we're going to follow it, and I will for sure let you know if this goes anywhere. It's almost summer break, so you probably won't hear anything to the fall.
True.
But basically this is saying the carriers are obligated to, at the end of your contract, unlock your phone. Or if you pay full price for the phone, which is an option and have no contract, you have to get an unlocked phone.
Yeah, which makes sense, and a lot of other places do that. In the UK, you can get that.
In Europe, it's almost commonplace.
Yeah.
This has to happen, I think, here.
In Asia, they don't sell carrier-locked phones. It's not something they do. The whole market's different.
Yeah. They give you a phone, and you go find your carrier.
You pay for your phone because it's a phone, and then you shop for your carrier. It's a completely different way of thinking about it. In Canada and the United States, it's arse backwards. So if this passes, that'll change a lot, because then I can say, okay, my contract's up with Rogers. I want to keep my phone, but I'm going over to TELUS because they have a better deal.
Yeah.
Go ahead. $5 for your new SIM card. You're on a plan month by month.
Now, if you can't wait for this bill to actually pass, you can instead just go and buy the iPhone 4 at full pop, because it looks like it will be unlocked from the get-go in Canada, which would be great if you do decide that you'd rather just do that instead. Now,
how
I mean, the
much is it
difference
supposed
is
to be, though?
$750 is the starting price point.
Okay.
So I mean, it is a lot more expensive because you don't get the subsidy of being with the company for 3 years. But it's an alternative if you really don't want to feel tethered down to anybody in specific.
Yeah, so I mean, good options. Good for Apple for offering it. They don't offer it in the States, so
Oh,
it's
really?
too bad for you guys.
That's just us.
Yeah.
No, international, but
okay.
not America.
Okay.
But international, but
But
not America.
Mostly because AT&T are douchebags.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve, you didn't make a good call there. Last but not least, we got a quick Mac Mini refresh this week, which I've personally been waiting for a while because I like the Mac Mini.
I do too.
As a non-Mac user, I think it's the barrier to entry for people who want to switch to a Mac.
And it's cute.
Because the Mac Pro is ridiculous, and not everyone wants an iMac.
Because they might already have a good screen. Or
Yeah,
something.
precisely. So they don't want to pay the money.
And the other flip side is that a lot of Mac Mini users currently have been using them as media computers for their televisions.
Which they're perfect size, perfect spec for.
I mean, they're this thick.
Well, they're even thinner now.
But
yes, they are.
until now, it's always been a little bit difficult because there was no direct HDMI out. Well, Apple's finally gone and put an HDMI out.
Finally, thank you,
Finally.
Apple. So it's brought up the specs. You got a 2.4 or 2.66 Core 2 Duo now, which is a nice bump. 2 gigs or more of RAM. You have to pay for an upgrade there.
Yeah.
Standard port set. It's got that new graphics card, the 320M, that's running in the Mac, the embedded
base
card
model, yeah.
in the MacBooks and the MacBook Pros.
Which is a nice little card, by the way.
Is a good little card, but you got to realize this thing's way too small to have a dedicated card. As much as everyone would like it to, it's an inch thick.
It's the heat that's mostly the issue here.
HDMI port as well as mini display port, so
Which is
can
nice
work
option.
with most major monitors these
And
days.
displays.
It'll work with
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You got built-in Wi-Fi N,
Sweet.
which is nice. Digital and analog audio in and out.
As well as Bluetooth for using wireless keyboards and
Yeah.
mice.
So
An important note for me is the fact that it has 4 USB ports. And it's kind of a bummer to me because the MacBook and MacBook Pro only have 2.
it's a laptop.
I know it's a laptop,
you're
but
misusing a laptop.
mine had 4. My Power Mac or my PowerBook had 4.
I think you're misusing laptops.
It had 4.
Either way,
This is not a laptop.
arguably, I could say one of the nicest things they've done this time around is you can change the RAM yourself as opposed to having to open it up with a putty spatula like you used to with the old ones.
Which makes no sense whatsoever.
But now you can upgrade your RAM on your own if you want to. So if you've been holding out for that new Mac Mini because you want that really good media computer for your television or just want to get into a cheaper Mac because you got a display and keyboard already, jump on this guy. Starting at $749.
Which is $100 higher than it used to be. For what? We don't know.
HDMI.
I was going to say, for that HDMI.
Is HDMI worth $100? Definitely not. Good try, Apple, but the $649 was high for what you're selling. So, I mean, it's an Apple price point, that's for sure.
You know what it is? The $100 is going to that latch that allows you to upgrade the RAM yourself.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
And of course, they still offer the Mac Mini with Server OS, which I still think is ridiculous. But if you're a small business and you really have your heart set on Mac OS Server for some reason, the options there, it starts at $10.99 Canadian.
Anyway, that wraps up Tech Insight this week. We got no behind the lens, so we're going straight to this guy and his crazy mad science.
It's kind of alive!
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh. Hi everyone, it's Mad Science with me, Sean, and Dave, my lovely assistant.
Stop. Sorry.
This week we are bringing you, as was mentioned at the beginning of the show, the thing I've been vying for years and something I've been hoping to do forever, which was build...
And something that a lot of us here
are concerned
are excited and at the same time terrified.
Yeah, it's all right. No one will get hurt.
No, that's what you say.
I
but
know.
You're lying.
Well, no,
Or at least
sort
you're
of.
not as sure as you should be when you make a statement like that.
Okay, it's safe. Kind of.
There's at least a 25% chance no one's going to get hurt.
10.
Oh!
Anyway, the whole point is, I've been trying for years since my grade 11 physics class to build a railgun. And over the years, I've of course figured out how to actually do it.
Sweet.
Problem
With the help
is-
of the internet.
Yeah, with the help of the internet and actually my
Other
physics teacher.
crazy people.
Yeah. This gentleman, I've got a clip to actually show you. This gentleman actually has done it. He's made a handheld railgun. And I think you should really
Which
see
sounds
this.
like a really great idea on the surface.
Yeah. Not very powerful, but a great start. Here's the clip. So, there you go, folks. That was a neat little clip. It doesn't show you too much. It shows it firing. I couldn't find a shorter clip, but if you check the show notes and go to this guy's YouTube channel, he's got a lot of great videos of him testing his weapon. And I do say weapon.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Sorry.
It's 8.8 kilojoules is the energy.
7.7. And then it
7.7 is
rounded
upgraded.
it up to 8.
Yeah. No, it's been upgraded.
Has it?
It's 8.8.
Okay.
So the video that I showed you was the upgraded version.
Just so that we have a bit of a reference point, kilojoule, how much is a light bulb?
Oh, Christ. A light bulb is nowhere near a kilojoule of energy.
So, like, we're talking like less than 1%.
Okay, we're talking about something here, like a light bulb will burn you. This, if it has the proper projectile, may not go all the way through you, but it will definitely embed the projectile in your body.
So a lot of energy.
It has enough energy that it will seriously injure you. And whether that is you having the projectile in your body or the electric shock after.
So a heck of, we're talking like beyond Transformers Energon cubes and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
But so I just wanted to bring you that quick one. It's just a quick Mad Science segment tonight. But hopefully you enjoy that. Check out this guy's site, and if you want to build one, contact me. You see the email addresses, especially on the website, so do it. That's it for tonight's Mad Science, and up next is the Lull of the Week.
It's your favorite time of the show. It's Lull of the Week. This week we're showing you a video clip of some girl. I believe her name is Amanda.
We're going to call her Amanda, whether it's her name or not.
I'm 99% sure it's Amanda.
Mostly out of love.
Tracy!
Apparently it's Tracy.
Is her last name?
It's LaQuisha. Either way, she's never seen Star Wars, but is fairly certain she knows exactly what it's about. And her friend decided to record her talking about it and then animate a really funny video of what would actually happen if Star Wars played out the way she did it. So we're going to show you a little clip from it, but you should really go watch the whole thing because it covers all 3 movies, and we're only going to show you a small segment of it. So enjoy this.
This is a different movie now. And now it's a cliffhanger. It doesn't matter how it ends because the other one just picks up right where it left off. They go to the bar planet and Princess Leia's there in her little golden suit. They kill Jabba the Hutt. They get away and they go to this planet full of the brown Muppets. Oh, what are they called?
Ewoks.
Right, and it's getting taken over and stuff by big robots, and they have to kill the big robots. And Chewie's there, and he's like a deformed Ewok or something. Guess who looks just like him? He looks just like him, and so yes, except for like 3 times bigger. But he has to help him, and then they do, and then.
So needless to say, I want to see that version of the movie.
That was so. My favorite part of the whole thing, and this is because I've watched it like numerous times. I enjoy this so much. I enjoy her naivete and her insistence that it's Hans, not Han.
Yes, Hans with an S.
But I love when it's like, and then in the next movie, Fran, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and it just makes me giggle.
Either way, it's pretty funny stuff. Go check out the full clip. But that brings us to the end of the show this week. As per usual, you can reach us on Twitter, where you can follow us at almost_Friday, which again, you can get to by pushing the squiggly key on your keyboard. Just like that. That's how you do it, and it shows up. So that's almost_Friday for Twitter, or you can follow us on email.
You can email us at contact@almostfridayshow.com.
So until next E3, make sure you keep your hands off the booth, babes. You will get arrested.